Look, I guess you don't have to be a Real Madrid fan to actually appreciate the fact that, look, this team never gives up. They keep going until the final whistle. You know what I'm saying? Because last night's game against Valencia at the Mestalla, it's always an eventful event. It's always an eventful encounter at the Mestalla whenever these two teams face off. I'm talking about Valencia and Real Madrid. You know what I'm saying? We've seen in the previous encounters where these teams have faced off at the very same venue, and we've seen what has happened. You know what I'm saying? And this particular encounter, last night's encounter, was definitely no different at all. At all. And one such aspect that I want to talk about is this guy. I want us to talk about this guy, Jude Bellingham. This guy, he's one of those players that, he never gives up. It's one of those, it's a clear definition of saying that never say never. He's got that never say die attitude. Despite the fact that he actually missed from the spot kick, he was still able to score the winning goal. And you know what that does to you as a player is that it actually shapes you. It shows that he's a big player. He's a player that actually belongs at this club called Real Madrid. Because how many times do you often see that a situation where a player does miss a penalty? And eventually it starts to, mess up with their confidence. It messes up their performance overall. We often see that, right? But not with Bellingham, not with Jude Bellingham. Just after missing from the spot kick, he almost got an assist. Unfortunately, that Mbappe goal was actually disallowed. But that was a great pass to actually find Mbappe. And he was still in the game. He was still going strong, creating those key chances, making those key passes. His movement of the ball is just, it's something that I just find so hard to describe. That, no, man, how does this guy, where does he get the mental strength to just keep on going? Where does he get it? Because, yeah, man, I mean, it's not like, Real Madrid had a bad game. But to be honest, they were not all too convincing. And I would say that they were just lucky to have won this game. Despite the fact that they won it with a one-man shot, they were just lucky to win the game because, Valencia were very sloppy, to be honest with you. The entire second half, the home side were very sloppy. Giving away possession in dangerous areas. Not even being able to spring along just 10 passes. They couldn't even get outside of their own half. Because I didn't even see a single chance that Valencia were able to conjure up in the second half. None whatsoever. They didn't even create a single chance at goal in the second 45 minutes of the game. That just tells you how bad they were. It was that bad. So it's like, most of y'all will say it was match fixing. I just say it's just poor from Valencia. And Real Madrid capitalized on the mistakes of their opponent. Despite the fact that they were a man short. I'll talk about the Vinicius red card after this. I'll talk about that one. But I want us to focus on Jude Bellingham. Like, it's just one of those things that I actually admire about him as an athlete. He's got great mental strength. As that spirit of saying, you know what, keep going until the final whistle. And it's that spirit of enabling to say, look, it's never over until the fat lady sings. And that is Jude Bellingham. That's the attitude that Jude Bellingham has. And I say shout out to him, man. Congrats to him. I mean, missing a penalty, you know what I'm saying? And then scoring the winning goal. It just shows how so much can just change in a couple of minutes. And I want you guys to actually apply this even in life. That yes, sometimes things do happen. You might have those bad days, However, things can just change within a matter of seconds. If you still have the willingness to keep on going. Just like this guy showed in the game last night. So this is 3 points for Real Madrid. A very important 3 points. And it just opens up the title race. The title race is basically wide open. It's now between Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, and Real Madrid. However, even though Barcelona have been dropping points over the past couple of games or so, losing to Atletico Madrid, losing to Las Palmas, as well as losing to what's this team, Osasuna, not so long ago. You know, they were losing games that they were not supposed to have lost. Even that draw against Real Betis away from home, throwing away all 3 points against Celta Vigo away from home, it just like opened the title race wide open. You know, because it shows the inconsistency in Blaugrana's season so far, despite the fact that they've really showed so much promise. You know, it just reminds me of Chelsea last season, where Chelsea against the bigger clubs, they would perform their socks off and get a result. However, against smaller opposition, weaker opposition, they would struggle. And that's what I'm seeing with FC Barcelona this season. Same thing with Pirates last season. You know, against stronger opponents, they would actually fight until the final whistle and get a result. And then against weaker opponents, you know, they drop points, you know. So that's the issue. But however, congratulations to Real Madrid, and the title race is basically open. And bear in mind, Jude Bellingham actually had a slow start to the season. You know, he had a very slow start to the season compared to last season. You know, where last season, he was just a house on fire. You know, right now, he's back to his best. He's back to his best form. This is the Jude Bellingham that we saw last season. He now has got 7 goals in 15 games. And he's also got 5 assists. So that's basically 12 goal contributions in 15 games. You know, we talk about Jude Bellingham. Despite the shaky start that he had to the beginning of the 2024-2025 season, he's picked up. He's regaining his form. This is the Jude Bellingham that we saw last season. This is the Jude Bellingham that Real Madrid paid huge amounts of money for. And we're seeing him again. 12 goal contributions in 15 games. And he's not even a striker. That just shows you how much of a key asset he is to Los Blancos. That just shows how much he contributes to this team, even when he's not at his best. Because we have seen even in games where he was not at his best, but you could still tell that, no, he's contributing so much. You know, he's actually giving it his all. And he knows what it plays. You can see that he's one of those players that really plays for the badge. He represents the Real Madrid badge with honor and pride. He doesn't take it for granted at all. You wish most Manchester United players had that kind of attitude, even Kaizer Chiefs players. Unfortunately, they don't. Hopefully, they can learn a thing or two from Jude Bellingham.